Hello, I'm Alex Mansfield, the host of Manny Talks Shooting, and welcome to another episode. This is the shooting podcast where I talk to individuals all across the shooting industry. We'll talk competition, self-defense, concealed carry. If you like this content, check out our YouTube channel, Manny Talks Shooting. And without further ado, let's get to this episode.
Manny Talks Shooting is proudly presented to you by D2 Custom Guns. Did you know that Phil the Groundhog isn't the only thing Puxatawny, Pennsylvania is famous for? That's right, D2 Custom Guns, the home of Dan Heizenreiter and one of the best, fabulous 2011 builders in the country. So make sure you guys go check him out, D2 Custom, anywhere you can see him on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, go check him out. If you see myself, Patches Reader, anyone with the D2 Custom Guns, make sure you go check him out, and you will thank me later. Now, let's get on to the show. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Manny Talks Shooting, the shooting podcast that you listen to on the internet. Guess what? I lied. It's another solo show. Not by choice, not by want, but it's how it's going to have to be right now for a minute. So weird enough, I was supposed to record with someone for an episode last week or this week. So it's the 22nd again, doing another podcast by myself. I was supposed to record with somebody on Wednesday, and guess what? My little small town lost power. Yeah. I was not happy with that. I was supposed to record with them, and I was totally honest with them and upfront about it. I'm like, hey, I don't have power right now, so I can't do a podcast. And he's like, it's okay. We'll just catch it up next time. I'm like, okay. So I'm doing one solo. I'm going to talk about the Steel Challenge match I shot last weekend and the USPSA match that I just shot today on 9/22. So we'll talk about Steel Challenge first. First of all, I am not a Steel Challenge shooter in the slightest. So I really do not enjoy Steel Challenge one bit, so there you have it. So yeah, I'm not a big fan. So but I will shoot it about once a year with my buddies if they ask me if they have to host the match. So I'm a-okay with that. But I'm not overly thrilled with shooting it. So hey, all's fair that ends well. So let's see. I shot the match in open, just seeing where I was. So last year at this time, let me look it up, scsa.org. I know I talked a little bit this on the episode I was by myself on Too Alpha News, but we'll cover it really quick here. So classification record. So last year I was like 54% in Steel Challenge in open. Then I bumped up to 66. So I did a bump. I did a good bump up that way. So I went from C class to B class. Not that I was a C class shooter in the regard, but figuring out Steel Challenge and figuring out a gun. Like I said, that gun was brand new to me, and I was brand new to that gun, and I definitely still was getting used to it at that time. But hey, shooting this one, I had fun with my buddy Chris. We shot the match. It was all good and good fun. So, Lord have mercy, back this way. So yeah, personal PRs on all of them. I shot them. My best stage was, I want to say 5 to go. That was my best stage in 5 to go, and that was my best classification. So that was like an A class, just into A class running open. So I was happy with that. So the rest were all like mid to high Bs. Other than one was a C class, but I had 2 bad runs, and you can only have 1 bad run in Steel Challenge. So nevertheless, Steel Challenge is just not my thing. But I shoot it more. People ask me to, maybe, but it's a lot of rounds for not a lot of enjoyment in myself. So it's one of those things I'm not a big fan of. But nevertheless, I did, as you know, got to shoot the D2 Custom Guns Manny's Master Blaster, shot it, had fun. The gun runs great. I can't complain. Dan built me a good gun. So I'm actually currently working on, in real time, editing the 1,000 round review still. I'm trying to make this probably one of my best edited videos, so it's taking me a minute and going through and making sure everything looks fine. But as you kind of know, I'm wearing some Aviators Active Blue. Brian had sent me a long time ago a pair of Active Blue frames and lenses. And I just found out that they were wide enough on my face. They were like the from temple to temple, they were fine. But the bows were so thick and plastic, they just kept giving me a massive headache, and it was awful. So he was kind enough and sent me out a replacement set in these in my prescription in the Aviator frames. The aviators might be a little big for my face, but I'm living with it. Kind of like a Big Lebowski looking blue, I guess. But I'm really enjoying these. Are my new my daily wears. So I've been wearing these since these arrived yesterday. After setup, of course. So I've been wearing these since, and they're phenomenal. Just like daily wear glasses. I know he loves wearing the yellows, and I wear the golds all day at work. And which, funny enough, those actually broke this week at work. The bow snapped on one. It's just kind of where a piece of metal plastic was injected around it, and it was just a 1 weak spot, and it cracked and snapped. And I was like, well, great. So those should be back to him tomorrow as of today. So if you're thinking you're listening to this on Monday, they should be arriving to Hunter's HD Gold to get replaced. So I'll actually have my safety glasses for work back. So I've been wearing glasses with big old coverall. I call them fish bowls because they're the ones that just go over regular glasses, and nothing ever looks right in them. It looks terrible, and I look horrendous. But got to be until I get my safety glasses back. So I might actually this week just grab my shooting set of Hunter's HD Golds, which are the old Matrix frames that he had. I think, yes. I might wear those for the week until I get my other ones back, because I'm really not wanting to wear the fish bowls, and I don't have to go shooting matches this week. So they'll be okay out of place. But anywho, we'll talk a little bit about the the USPSA match that we happened at Oak Hill Gun Club. We set it up yesterday. We set it up on Saturday. It was a good time. There was about 7 of us who worked hard, got the match all set up and on the ground. They hung targets this morning and got everything going. So total of 37 people showed up and had a good time. I came in 5th overall with taking a high open finish. And with that, I was very excited because I shot a good match, but I didn't shoot a phenomenal match. And I had, my first stage was a little slow, and I had some, execution mistakes. I was using gravity to fall out on a position, and just, slow shots on things that really shouldn't have been. And the IPSC, we shot 3 stages with IPSC targets, and all 3 of those stages were bad. The Alpha Charlies were too high, right? So I was not giving a great grip into the effort, not putting a lot of effort into the grip of the gun. Because like I said, the D2 Custom Manny Master Blaster, it shoots itself. It really does. So I had to dial that in the second half of the match, because I had one of my buddies, Mark. Myself and him at majors can kind of go back and forth about where we're finishing and shooting. But definitely one of the issues that I had, he kept saying, he's like, man, I shot a so-and-so hit factor. I'm like, okay, cool. And it kind of started leaching into my brain, and then I kind of just had to turn it off after a while and was like, no, just shoot your match, shoot your stages. And the consistency kind of paid out, right? So in open, like I said, I won it, and I beat everybody by 8.24, almost 9%, just over 8%, which is still fine and dandy. But if you click on me in open, I had a second place finish, a first, a third, a third, a third, a third. So I only had 1 stage win, but I dominated on that stage. On stage 2, I crushed the stage. I had let's see, we'll go to stage 2 in practice score, and we'll just get rid of me, put everybody back in. Yeah, it was over a 25% gap on the field. 25%, right? So my time was 29:52 on that stage. All right, 29:52. The next closest person to me in time was 35:17. Ridiculous time gap on the stage. And that guy was on my squad and saw me shoot it. He was first on the stage, so no. He was not first on the stage. He was last on that stage. So I was second up on that stage. So he saw me shoot it, and everyone else had bad stages. One guy had 47 seconds on the stage. One guy had 41 seconds. I'm like, nobody shot it as fast as I did, which was cool. So I took all the stage points. I only dropped 5 points on the stage, and I really was focusing on grip on that stage too. 23 alphas, 5 Charlies, and 29:52. So if I go to the match, let me go to overall on the stage. I'm 3rd overall on the stage. My buddy Andrew Roderick killed it. Him and Skylar took the times at 25 seconds, so I was about 6 seconds slower on them than them, but the points were still good, right? So Skylar was 21 alphas, 5 Charlies, 2 deltas. So I was happy with the points, and the time was kind of where it lied. So, yeah, so that was that stage. So third overall on that stage, not bad. So we'll go back to the open results. But anyway, go to the match, and then I'll just click back on my name as I'm talking about this. So, but I had a second place finish, and I was a 93.13. A 94.81, a 96.11, an 88.22, and a 98.91. So consistency matters at this point, guys, especially even at the local level. You can't be having dumpster fire dive bombs all the time and still be able to win. So here's the thing, right? It's one of those things. Stay in the match, stay consistent, and don't count yourself out, right? So simple enough is if you're consistent enough on it, you won't do too bad. So that's weird. Practice score had an error, but anywho, it's like I didn't give up. If anything, I was edged out by a little bit by here and there, but I was definitely A-okay on that. So nothing wrong with that. But I was happy with the match. I did okay. I'm looking forward to it. So I don't have a match this coming week, but I do have a classifier match to go shoot in the first weekend of October at Brooklyn Sportsman's Club. My buddy Ricky's putting it on, so I was like, yeah, I'll come shoot that. People can quit telling me I'm going to be sandbagging, so let's get that class bumped to A. So I'll get to play with the big boys again. So anywho, and I'm okay with that at this point because I know I'm an A-class shooter. I just need to put that in. My buddy Mark is like, every time I post like, oh, look, I won again, guys. He's like, oh yeah, you jerk. Quit being a sandbagger. So he's like, oh, you'll make them. And I'm like, whatever the cards lie, I'm going to follow the process, shoot the stages, and have a good time with my friends. So that's all I'm going to hope to do. So, anywho, I'm going to leave this one super short. So sorry if you're listening. I'm going to cut it short so I can get this edited, uploaded, and ready to go for tomorrow. So, like I say, always get out and do the things. I appreciate you. Get out and do the things. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.